The film is set in the small town of Injam, where a young girl named Jennifer lives with a crooked face and a disgusting bump in a rancher's family because of her ugly appearance. The girl is constantly teased by the locals, and one day, while there is a girl, is again teased by a couple of local young men. The girl accidentally opens a portal to the magic Toro Lara in Ark, USA, where she is met by the young wizard. The guy is worried. All magic leaves traces that wizards can use to find someone who has even an ounce of magic in them. He decides to save the budding witch and opens a safe portal that brings a girl home. Some time later, a beautiful and wealthy lady arrives at the girl's father's farm to buy a pig. But seeing the girl, she expresses a desire to buy it too. And her father, who does not hide his disgust for his daughter, sells her for half the price of the animal. Despite the pleas of her mother, who recognizes the lady as a witch. There is a girl so finds herself at the magic school of the enchantress who tried de Vries, where several girls are already studying. In the beginning, there is a girl taking the separation from the house hard and how low her father deemed her, and the same attempted suicide. But when the lessons start, she discovers that the young wizard was right. It was her inadvertent magic that caused the wave and caught the attention of the school's rector. The witch who? Soyo. The girls studying at the school also stood out with the same unique skills. Soon who? Soyo organizes the first test. The girls have to lift a stone and a flower or touch them, and using a spell, everyone more or less manages to cope with the task. But there is a girl fails. The girl stubbornly tries again and again until all of this stops her. A frustrated girl later runs away, and she finds Istria in the cave and tells her name. Sometime later, Tisila trains her female students to recognize man's greatest fear. She makes the girls sit on the floor and orders them to look into each other's eyes until she gets inside the rival's skin. There's a girl teams up to cheer up the girl, but she fails again. Who knows? There is a madman. There's a girl is useless, and that's because she's lying to herself. Even if she was a beauty, no one would like her. Although she's not the only one she has problems with, there is one girl who shares the problems with her only friend, Istria, who talks about her schooling. He too was struggling with everything. The boy offers to read his thoughts. The girl pulls off a night that wakes the girls up in the middle of a storm and takes them to Lara, the most powerful magical place on the continent, the entrance to which is only open to members of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers. Today there will be a test in the art of controlling the flows of chaos, which requires catching lightning in a bottle. The girls do not believe in such a possibility, and some get strong shocks. Even after catching lightning, Maiden's turn comes and she reaches out with the bottle, but it's thrown against the wall. Enraged, she directs her power at her luckier opponent, who Soyo is blocking her mental blow. Later she scolds her apprentice, and she almost killed today. Which means his emotions can ruin his. If it can't be sure there is a girl, won't follow her feelings and harm her school where she has to become a court witch, and the weak have no place near a ruler. The enchantress already doubts there's anything in her that the wizarding chapter needs. Frustrated yesterday, a girl tells Istria everything, but above all, the enchantress knows everything about her and they won't be able to see him again. The guy is ready to show him another magic, older and more powerful, but it's very dangerous. He shows her the skulls of the dead elves who built Ridges USA. They were the first wizards on the continent, and they were the ones who built all the magical places. But humans came to the mainland and slaughtered them. Istria gives her a flower that can only grow where the blood of elders lies. There is a spell that. We repeat, the young girl opens a portal. The sorcerer, amazed, does not understand how he managed to do it the first time. His daughter confesses that her real father was a half-elf who died during the purge. It was her blood that made her ugly. The boy kisses a girl and confesses his love. Later, she shows the weaving flower. Turns out it was his mission to get the plant by applying the fake emotion skills. There is a girl hopes to be raised. The enchantress promises that she will hear the knock soon and will be when it is time. Meanwhile, Istria also reports to his mentor on board what he has learned about the girl. One night there is a girl hears a knock on her neighbor's door and, taking the flower, chases them. She glances over as that turns all four of them into eels. The enchantress knows the girl is there. He orders her to get out and push her former classmates into the water. They are now the conduits of magic. To stop USA's there is a girl performs this and then sees many silhouettes of old classmates in the water. Time passes, there is a girl lives a love affair with Istria, applying what she has learned to strengthen the effect of intimacy. One day, she shouted to a whole crowd watching their intimacy, then rewarded the lovers with applause. The guy. Born from his imagination. What will she do next time? Thus, the day of the final rites draws near. After which they will be masters of their own destiny. Jenfit dreams of graduating from USA arrest and returning to her birthplace idea as a powerful witch to show her longtime abusers and her father what she has been able to accomplish. In addition, all USA art graduates are perfected before being sent to the various realms. All physical defects are removed, which also awaits the responsible wizard shows him his work, the flawless beauty of the graduates, and promises him an equally wonderful result. He proposes to color it a noble but strong gray that goes astray. On the other hand, teaches him to look in the mirror and see what is there. A fairy herself wants and she orders the girl to close her eyes and imagine the most powerful woman in the world. There is a girl complies with the command but does not yet see the promised beauty. Meanwhile, the wizarding chapter is meeting in USA to decide where their graduates should go, because all kings need court wizards. Then it turns out that one of the leaders of the council, the wizard, knows that there is a fairy is one. Which means she won't be accepted in USA where there is a prejudice against elves. The chapter votes to send a girl to Black, which the budding enchanter doesn't like. She asks for a hearing at the Metis chapter. CIA declares itself in charge of the distribution. There's a girl out of her and she has no intention of wasting her life in service to the king, a small southern kingdom, and a lover of women. The tutor reminds her of elven blood and the girl understands how that thing first knew. The initiation ceremony begins, which a girl does not attend. Worried, history finds her behind the letter to her father, asking him to confirm that she is his own daughter. The boy doesn't believe this letter can convince the chapter, but the girl just doesn't know what to do. Because even if he refutes his words about his origins, no one will believe him anymore. The enchanter is frustrated. He didn't know why she needed this information and has already failed all the initiation spells. He offers to accompany him because he is offered to become an explorer. They can travel the continent and discover the unknowable. But unexpectedly, the girl cruelly ridicules her plan. She's not going to dig in the dust of the Aegis at all, and it's her dreams and her intentions and her opinion. As always, he doesn't even ask. Istria is in shock. There is a fairy who is not at all what he thought she was, and he expresses his opinion that she is angry because she missed her chance to find beauty. But a girl needs power, and she didn't have such a hard time studying at magic school for nothing. There is a girl who runs towards the enchanter, who is in charge of perfection and demands to show her art, not even the absence of a potion to ease the terrible pain that accompanies the transformation process stops her. As the wizard begins the process, there is a girl asking for her eyes and the cut marks on her hands to remind her of her old weakness, and the wizard informs her that every magic has a price. Being born again, she will no longer be able to walk. But the girl agrees on everything, right down to the removal of her belly necessary for a complete transformation. The magician reads the spells and the vial of terrible pain and tears the chains with which it was tied to the table. Her spine straightens, her whole body seems to melt and shift from one shape to another. Finally, writhing in pain, there is a fairy fainting. Meanwhile, in the main hall to stop, the initiation ball suddenly continues. Who knows? There is a door opening and in it stands an unusually beautiful girl with purple eyes. She realizes there is a girl, has disobeyed her orders and hurries to take her away. But it's too late. The ruler has already noticed the beauty. He invites her to a dance where he expresses his desire to see her as a court witch in his kingdom. Who knows? He must retreat and only watch from afar the dance of the king and the enchantress, made on the basis of a series of books of this cut. What? The witch is quite curious, fascinating and lively. The atmosphere of magic, the worlds of monsters and steel swords is conveyed quite well.